Canada already has strong ties with the EU. They've got an agreement out there, and I'll get around to talking about that in just a minute. But if they started sharing basic democratic values and policies and economics, well, that'd only make them all the more stronger. They're not going to be sovereign and alone against the size of the United States versus the size of Canada. If they're short on population, it's only because their territories are undisturbed, shall we say. And they have the uranium, the aluminum, the timber, the water, the water-generating hydropower, the wildlife, the fish, the cattle grazing grounds, the beef, and the farming that goes on up there. It's what they lack in population size, they make up for in natural resources. So it would be a two-way street for the EU to be able to see all that, and for the EU to have access to some of this. And hey, it wouldn't hurt if all of a sudden the boundaries between the EU and Canada were dissolved so that people could live in Canada. Basically, they wouldn't even need a passport. They just come over and set up home and call it a day. Canada could actually grow their population out of that whole thing. I think it's a win-win. Looking at labor and education, Canadians would be free to live and work and study across 27 other countries without a visa restriction. If they're part of the EU, they travel just like we do in the States. If I'm living here in New York State and I want to send my kid to Ohio for an education, I don't have to get a special visa. I don't have to apply for anything special. You just apply to the college, and if you get accepted, you go. Canadian students would also have access to the lower tuition rates of Europe. A lot of the countries over there believe in a freer education,